Continue our journey with the Kathopanishad. We are on to the 20th mantra. We will commence our proceedings for the day. Om Shri Gurubhyo Parama Gurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyobhyo Namo Namaha Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Sthititolayan Niyati Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparita Madiprabodhan Vadan Nirasya Kritavan Bhuvitatvavadam Sarvesvaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Anandatirtha Munivaryam Namami Pujjaya Rahavendraya Satya Dharmarataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrikshaya Namatam Kamadhenave Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvinavadidamastu ma Vishvidavahaihi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome friends. Once again, we are back to the Kathopanishad. Last week we have seen, because the last mantra we have seen is 1.2.9, which is equivalent to the 19th mantra of second chapter of Gita. That is what we have seen. Hantache manyante hantu, hatache manyante hatam. Because it says, no one, if you think you are killing someone, you are not correct. And if someone thinks he is being killed, ubauto, both of you, na vijanite, you people don't know, nayam hanti na hanyante. When they said neither you are being killed nor any person who can kill also never can kill, because the soul is, it is always there. It doesn't have a birth, doesn't have a death, it is only taken this body, it's like a cloth. So when you are wearing a cloth, you don't continue with the same cloth, when you get bored, in fact, when it gets soiled, you put it into a washing machine, then you take the another cloth. The body is also like that. But it's difficult for us, it is difficult to understand that, because we experience everything what is happening. As the soul is, as the cloth is getting soiled, we are also getting totally immersed, indulged into the worldly experience. We think, that is the life. When we are getting soiled, in the sense, all our thoughts, they are all, crumpled, always, the crimp is there in our thoughts. But with the crimping thoughts, you are not able to straighten it. Because when you have to straighten it, then only, the Adhyatmika starts. The meditation and all is, as we have explained, when all the crimples are there, you put it in the washing machine. It is like that. The meditation and all the inward journey, whatever you are doing, what we call Shravana, Manana, Nitidhyasana, whatever we say, the contemplation, the listening, contemplation, and then repeatedly focusing yourself, onto the point of, the stability where you are able to get the clarity of thought. Nitidhyasana is nothing but getting the clarity of thought. See, because when you are doing all these things, it is like a washing machine. You are doing it. And finally, when it is washed, still the crimpleton, you will have to iron it. And you will have to press it. Once you press it, then only you wear it, because you feel more comfortable to wear it and because you are presentable and all. Likewise, you get into the direction in which you will be able to focus. The pressing also will have a crimp. The crimp will be pointed to one direction. That is how to bring ourselves into unidirection, in the sense, when you have to have the divinity, it is by focusing on the thing that you are doing every moment, whatever you are doing, applying yourself every moment. The application, the concentration, that is what the divinity personified in the first point of time. Over that, you lose yourself. If you are a painting, when you are losing yourself in a painting, or when you are doing some sort of a research work, or when you are doing, even if you are cooking, you are lost yourself into the cooking, because you are just trying to find how fine you can put it under. So you want to prepare the dish as good as possible with a lot of love and affection under. When the dish is prepared like that, even the people who are eating it, they will get the benefit of it. If someone is cribbing, look, I will have to feed these fellows right from the morning. They come, every time I will have to be in the kitchen to do something or other. I think there's no end to my struggle. When you do that, the person who is taking will also not get the benefit of it, because your thoughts have got the energy. That the energy automatically gets ingrained to whatever you are doing. It is basically the mindfulness we thought about. And the most important concept of what we talked about last week is most important thing, that we can't forget. Though it is said you can't be killed, or neither you can kill nor you can be killed, in the sense, you are not the doer. That's what we pointed out. And all. You are not the doer in the sense, look, because I have got the thoughts, I have got the mind and I have got the intellect, I have developed, the knowledge base to discriminate and to do whatever whatever profession you are in. If you're a doctor and you've got the knowledge, and if you're a lawyer, you've got the knowledge, you are exercising the knowledge, trying to do as best as possible. But then, when you have got focus on different things. So if you are focusing only on a profession and trying to give your best, automatically, you will become someone. But then, you see other persons, he is doing a criminal law, he has earned a lot, he has got this. Then, you are not able to give the focus. You are not able to give your strength, what is there, and you are not able to exercise it. You are not able to fully do that. So that, you get into the ways of the world, by seeing the others, judgmental and being sensitive to what you have to get in this world, then slowly it gets dissipated. Your energy gets dissipated. That's why you will find a lot of lawyers, they have got their name and fame only when they are 40 plus. Because they have worked day and night. There is a very famous poem we used to do, because when everything has slept overnight, the great people have worked day and night. Finally, they have not got by a sudden flight. It is by their constant work they have got it. Likewise, that concentration and giving the best in whatever you are doing, irrespective of the fact, whatever profession you could get by virtue of your the knowledge, education, or how your parents have put you in, how you yourself have developed, you will have to focus on that. Irrespective of it, you don't have to be a CEO always. You could be a manager somewhere and all, or you could be working even a manual job. It doesn't matter. But if you have to give the best, that best will certainly come to you. But that we don't have the patience. We always see others, this happens to them. But I can't be working like a bullock, because I will have to get, as others have also got. These things, take away our strengths and our energy get dissipated. That what it happens, finally, we are not able to give the best. In that, what happens, you are not able to do the best in any of the things, your relationship. They get fractured. And then your own development, that also get sort of, because even if you can grow and you can have a lot of interest, you are not able to focus on that. Very often we say, I have got a lot of interest during the professional time, when you have to be in the service, you are not able to focus on. Only after retirement, I'm able to do and all. We give that an excuse. It's not necessary. A lot of people, even when they are in a service or a profession, they continue to exercise their own passions they have pursued. A lot of people, even musicians are there. Some of them, because they have not. But by the time, when they find, they can fully concentrate on their areas of interest, they give one or the other. They give up one or the other. But we don't do that. We always give an excuse. We find an alibi. We want everything to be perfect. Because when you don't want to strive for your own excellence, you will only be giving excuses. This mantra says don't do that. And it also says you are not the doer. So why you are not the doer in the sense, because whatever happens, when you have a certain interest, when you do everything and all, you are always have expectations. So when Karmanyeva Adhikarasto, famous sloka, when Gita says, don't expect the fruits of it, to do your duty and all, we don't have the patience. Because by doing that, what happens every time, you expect something, what you expect need not necessarily be correct. You may be destined for something much bigger. Your expectations may be much lower because you are conditioned by that. Once you take out the conditionalities and giving the best, 100% everyone will get whatever they are. Perhaps, it may not be happening, as you would expect. At that point of time, it will happen. Certainly, it will happen more gloriously than what you expected. That expectation is preventing us from doing it. But whatever happens is based on, whatever vasanas we have carried, whatever prarabdhas, the karmas what we have carried. Why in our religion only karma is being talked about and not in other religion? You cannot expect anything. Why a person is born blind? Can you expect, because he also has got, because the same conditionalities in which, because our mothers have also carried in their womb, and so is he. You can't expect, because even doctors are also not, it is inexplicable. A lot of diseases nowadays, they are not able to diagnose, but they are trying to only treat the symptoms and go by this and all, because these are all basically the body has got the power to cure itself, but we don't allow it. But that's why, last week when we talked about, when we say we have taken the birth as this human being without any of the deformities, that itself is a very great boon. That's what I quoted the Tamil, that great old lady who was the Sangam literature, that Avayar, she has said, Aridaridu Manadarai Parathal Aridu, Manadarai Parandagalam, Poon Kurudu Sevidu Pedinning. You are born as a human being. You are not born blind. God has given you the eyes. He has given the ears. All your faculties are working perfect. That itself is a great boon. That's what she says. But do we take it? We have taken it for granted. It's everyone is having, everyone's faculty is performing. Why not mine? But there are so many people we don't see, because who are born blind, who have got the congenital problem, even the heart problem is there. That you may see, in dime a dozen you are seeing everywhere and all. These are all things, because it is their lot. How is their lot? What is that, I am so superior to them? Why it should happen to them? This is where, when you ask the question, welcome, Mr. Narayanan, welcome, welcome. So, why it should happen to me only and all? This is where, the human, the sorrow. Because when you are, everything is okay, everything is, go by the reason, you think, it has to happen. And, you got a good job and you got the chauffeur-driven vehicle and you got a good place to live. We think, okay, why I should bother about all these things? It all happened, it's given. But someone else is not having this and all, it is his lot. That's what we say. And some people are not able to take it. Why I should only suffer? Why my child should only be born blind? The mother will think like that. Why it should be? Why? Because this will also happen. This why has got only one answer. Because it is nothing but, you have carried it and you are trying to exhaust it during this birth. But when your eyes are not, when you are born blind, your other faculties will be too sharp. Your listening will be too sharp. A blind man, because a lot of people, who have achieved. Even one advocate general, in West Bengal, he was one of the finest, the advocate of the time. And he was born blind. But he was so, his legal knowledge is par excellence, because his analytical skill is, you can't compare it. He was there as advocate general, even born blind, because now the opportunities are there. It is all differently able. That's what we got. We don't call them deformities, because they have got, a divine law of equality is there. When he has given you something, minus, he has given so many pluses. But we are not able to take those pluses. And we have gone everything, all the faculties perfect, that itself is a plus that we don't realize it. When some misfortune takes place, because this type of thing, when there is a accident, there is a sort of landslide, when people, because you are not able to explain why it happens and all. Because these are all things are ordained by our own. That is what, our Sanatana Dharma says. Why it should happen only to them and all. Because the explanation given is, as you have taken this body, the soul is permanent. It comes and stays in this body. Sometimes, you may like certain clothes. Sometimes, you may be, because you don't like the clothes, because you want to have some different clothes. It is solely like that. Then it discards the body. Sometimes, because that is a beautiful explanation given by Chinmayananda. He says, because when a person comes and he wants to set right, and he is a sort of a great, engineer, and he wants to set right so many things. He finds he does everything, but he suddenly finds one tool is not there and all. He goes back. Likewise, the soul also comes here and sees what is the purpose it is serving for its own evolution. Soul has got the evolution, it has got the seed, it has got the flourish to its potential. When it doesn't happen, then it leaves this cloth, it leaves this body and goes off. That may be very too difficult to digest, for the person who is suffering, because it may be philosophically, you may say, philosophy can't explain everything and all. The philosophy is only the construct by which you will be able to find out the reason and how to overcome, because perhaps you will be able to, because you will not be able to sort of bring back the person or bring back anything, bring back the experience, because some bad things has happened. You will not be able to correct it, but you will only be able to learn from it and proceed further. Because the life is, the forward movement, always we learn to move. Why the mindfulness is there in the sense, because next moment what is going to happen, your challenges will be different next moment. The challenges here is something, once you are able to do that, because it is not that always you will get all the pleasant roads, and it will not be bed of roses, you will have always, all the thorns across the way and all. So you will be able to face it. But when you are able to face it, every time you are able to overcome it, that is the joy of the life. That is the bliss of the life. Not getting bogged down as to what has happened. That is the doership. So we are not the doer. When doer, we try to put our efforts, something else happens. But when you try to put your efforts, whatever you are ordained to get, that will come. It will never go waste, but we can't wait for that, because we do have our plan, because it has to happen like that, because 25 years, you should have got a job and studied, and within 30 you should get married. By 35, you should have had this one, and by 40, you should have attained some position. Likewise, it's all well, because does it happen like that? Even today, you see, wherever Western states, it's very common. The man who is in the top, because next day he finds him on the road. It has happened, even the CEO of a GE, it has happened. It happens to so many people and all. But the ability to face and the ability to take and the ability to move forward, that is the life. That is what, we quoted that last verse of Gita also. Yatra Yogeshwara Kritno, Yatra Partho Dhanuddaraha, Tatra Sri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvanaitir Matir Mama. That is the last sloka. Where he says, where Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, when he is there, when he is giving the entire grace, the knowledge, and the entire, the clarity of thought, everything comes. When you are able to work, Yatra Partho Dhanuddaraha, when you are able to put all your strength to focus, and finally, Tatra Shir Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvanitir Matir Mama, it is the journey. It's not the goal. If it is a goal, you will stop it. That will go, because your soul is permanent. It is going to be there. It will be having this body. Afterwards, it may discard this body and it will go to some other body. It will have further. It is going. It is excited. So going from one body to another, do we bother about our teenage times? Yes, it was good at that point of time. Now you are not bothered about what happened and all, because you are seeing what is happening now. Likewise, that is gone. That has come and that has gone. Likewise, this will also go. Likewise, once you are having, it is the journey you will have to undertake, learn, experience. And all. That is exactly, it's not the goal that is always, I have to get this, because it's not transactional at all. The life is not transactional. That's what Upanishad says. You have to face every time and go about it. It's because your journey continues even after this body goes, because your journey is a higher journey is there. That is much more exciting. Like, you've never been abroad, first time you go abroad, because then you go there, sometimes you go and settle down, you leave this place. It's like that. It all happens like that. This is in this context only. We saw the last mantra, 1.2.20. It is a very sort of one of the famous mantras. All the preachers, all the people who want to explain the philosophy, they take it, take it, as a sort of a reference point to explain their respective philosophy. The 1.2.20 is in your page 57. Anor Aniyan Mahato Mahiyan. Atma Anor Aniyan Maitin Mahiyan. Atma Tasit Jantor Nihate Guhayam. Anor Aniyan, it is a subtle of the subtlest. In the sense, body is gross body. And we say mind is disembodied mind. It is in our Sushma Sarira. It is in our, it is not part of the gross body. It is there in your sort of, the astral body. It is there. It is controlling. All your chakras are there. Your body will have only chakras, only glands. The chakras, which is controlling point, that is in your Sushma Sarira. The astral body, it is there. Likewise, when you are doing meditation and all, where you are concentrating, when you are saying, the entire power is there in your heart, not this physical body where it is pumping the blood and all. It is in your Sushma Sarira. You are doing that because entire control point is there. When we are having 5 koshas, Annamaya kosha, Pranamaya kosha, Mononmaya kosha, Vijnanamaya kosha, Anandamaya kosha, they are all the evolution of your own soul to your own soul, which gets the knowledge to the different level. When you are able to get the Anandamaya kosha, this is supposed to be the highest bliss you have got, because you get into a stage, you have understood everything and all. In the Manonmaya kosha, we are trying to find, because whatever is happening in the mind is subtler than your thoughts. Your thoughts come, because then mind becomes subtler. The intellect is subtler than the mind, because then it gives the discriminative power. Mind will not be able to discriminate. It will go on generating thoughts, getting the thoughts and dealing with the thoughts. But intellect has got the discriminating power. And the intellect is subtler than the mind. The soul is subtler than the intellect. See, there is different line. And these things are being explained in terms of koshas. When you say Annamaya Kosha, it is a gross body. It is nothing but, because whatever I am taking in the vegetable and other, everything is converted into energy, bone and flesh and all I am here. But the mind, because which is never part of the embodied, this body, it's not embodied in this body, it does carry the entire knowledge, whatever I am having. Even, if a person is getting into coma, his knowledge is not lost, it is there. Maybe when he comes back, he will be able to get back to his original, because the brain is not functioning physically, is not able to access and put it into the physical form, in the gross body. But in the astral body, he has got the entire thing. When he goes into the final, into the Manonmaya Kosha, when Vijnanamaya Kosha, when he goes there, he has got the entire refined knowledge, the repository, the treasure house of knowledge is there. The people who are great acharyas this birth, when they are, if they have to come into this world, because the avatara takes place, because when God sends them here, so that their guidance is needed, they come again, particular the great family, in which the great knowledge-based people are there. They come again, become a Maha Acharya. Because likewise, we said the evolution of the human being, the Shankaracharya has beautifully quoted 3 levels. One is Manushyatvam. Mumukshotvam is going beyond that, because you understanding, because the bodily experience, every transient, ephemeral experience, these are all there from which what you are learning. Finally, you are trying to find, you are a reality, because all these things are ephemeral, they will all transient. Once you know the reality, because universal reality is, cosmic reality is there, you are towards that, when you are going, that is, mumukshatvam. Mumukshatvam in the sense, adhyatma, you are going it, whether you are doing a meditation, you become a master, or you become, someone who is teaching so many people, others are all learning from you. And that happens, that is mumukshatvam. And from there you go further higher into mahapurushatvam. That is like Ramana Maharishi. And as well as the Himalayan masters are there. Rama is there. Paramarthananda is there. So many people are there. Paramahamsa Yogananda is there. And Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Although they are all the one Mahapurushatvam. That is transient. As we explained last week, when you are taking the pole vault and all the knowledge, whether you gather in this world, when you cross the pole, you go to the other side of the pole, that is Mahapurushatvam. You are just going outside into the entire, beyond the body, mind and intellect. But using the body, mind and intellect. That is from using the impermanent things, you are going into the permanent abode. The permanent, the place which you are sort of entitled to. That is your divine right. That is your birthright. As Swaraj's birthright, as Gokhale has said, that is a divine right of every soul. But are we getting it? The Upanishad enables, tells us, that is there very much, and you can go to that. You are eligible for that. You are divine happiness personified, bliss personified. You can go to that. For that only, you just see it gives you all the sort of, the happenings here and all. In fact, there will be 1 or 2 metaphors that will be coming in this particular Valli itself. You will find it, very, very sort of it is being explained in a gross level so that anyone can understand. We will see, the last sloka of this particular Valli. So, Anor Aniyan, because everything is subtler than subtlest. You will not be able to explain, because, the atom, you can only define, because in paper and all, but you will not be able to explain, because the molecule you can decide, because the molecules, so many atoms come together and form, particular particle. We are all molecules of a different combination. All Panchatattva has come in, we are all, coming into different forms, different shapes. And, we have got the knowledge base that is permanent. So, we are getting to that, because of that only. So, therefore, it is only the form and name, that we have taken, and that is the sort of a manifestation here. The unmanifest is the knowledge. So, when you are going to the unmanifest and when you are going to realize, what your Swarupa Jnana, what is your soul, you are capable of attaining, you have got, you flourish to the full potential of your soul, then you are able to cross the body, mind and intellect and see the reality. You are a reality yourself, but the rest of them are not real. That is what, it says. But the world is real to the extent it is giving you the experience and all. Because they are all temporary reality. They will vanish because everything will change. The world is not same. And if you go to US 10 years before what you have seen and 10 years after now you go and see, things might have changed. You can't go with the same perception, this will be like that, I will go here and all. Now everything is changed there. So you will have to adapt to the new things. Because the world is Jagrati. Every time it changes, it is your ability to adopt and get the knowledge. That is what you will have to get into this world. Finally, what you gather the knowledge, use it and understand you are the real one. And finally, whatever you are seeing, indulging in this world is enabling you to get that. But you have got much higher reality and bliss what you are having. This is what exactly this mantra has said. In this, how you have to do it, that also is said. Na Atma, yes, Na Atma Asya Jantoho Nihita Guhayam. The next when he said, not only he has created the entire world, he is the Anu and he is also Mahato Mahiyana. He is the one, he is the embodiment of the entire cosmos, universal figure, Vishwarupa, what we call it and all. But he is also in your heart. Na Atma is Asya Jantaha Nihita Guhayam. He is also inside every being to enable them to get the energy to get their full potential. That is what what we call it, because to get our best, what we are entitled to in this world, he gives that energy. He is there inside us. He is within and without. That is the concept we have continuously. When you have that, that is what Jantan Mahito Mahayam. He is beyond everything and all. In spite of it, he is inside you to give the, so that you are able to understand what the Mahato Mahiyam, universal consciousness, what they talk about, and all the power which is giving you the entire energy. In the Bhakti school where you have to surrender that Vishwarupa when it is there, he is that. So enable you to gain that, he is also inside you, inside your Sushma Sarira. He was trying to activate you and guide you and all those things. Try to understand. Tam akrat pashyati. Tam akrat pashyati in the sense. Akrat in the sense, in Bhakti school, it is A is called Akshara. The entire Pranava is defined as Akshara. Even the Brahman is defined as the Akshara. Akrit in the sense, one who has surrendered to the highest power. As what Krishna says, surrender to me. When you say, because when you say Mama comes Saranam Raja, because that is what he says in the 18th chapter, you give up everything and surrender to me in the sense, not that you surrender, don't do anything. You continue to do your job, leave everything to me, give your best into your efforts. That means don't sit idle. Try to do whatever you are doing. If you are looking after a temple, look after the temple. And if you are looking after a house, look after the house. Even if you are looking after, because school you do it, or even if you have nothing to look after, at least try to give the best to people who are needing you. That is what he says. Go about doing it. That is the Saranagati. Not that, sitting idle and chanting the name of the Lord. That is not. Do it. That enables you to give you the focus on doing the thing at the present moment. Tam akrita. That is once you have it. That is one meaning of it. And akrita in the sense, there is always a chattering in the mind. All the chattering, you bring it to the calmness. You calm it. Calm it in the sense totally discard. Like ironing, your clothes, washing your clothes and ironing. So that, you remove all the crimples. All unwanted thought goes off. Only the which are very, very actionable thought, you work on that only. The one which is on which you can give your excellence, where you will be able to apply your knowledge, do that. Tam akrit pashyati, once you do it, vita shokaha, in the sense, there is nothing called sorrow for you. Once you do that, you will not have anything called sorrow. Vita shokaha, in the sense, you will not have any sorrow whatever. All the sorrows and all that is your only happiness, bliss. You will be enjoying whatever you are doing. Morning to evening, if you are able to enjoy the day, that you have become liberated. That's what. Will you be able to do that? But you are always, burdened with something, that fellow is coming, I will have to do that. Today is the last day. And, because someone is coming, because I will have to make arrangement for them. Or someone is going, I will have to book the ticket for them. Or tomorrow I have to go to the hospital, because my reading is not good, I will have to do. All those things are there. But if you focus on that, all these things will settle themselves in right place. But you will have to follow the discipline. If doctor has asked you, because not to take because doctor knows, your body and he knows the physiology. He tells you not to take in the sense, you take, look, I like it, I take it in the sense, that is intelligence. You can't help it. But if you are able to control the discipline life and leave everything, with the focus, I am doing everything. Whatever has been advised to me, I am doing it. I should not take it, I am not taking it. I should not do it, I am not doing it. But whatever, I can do it, I am doing it perfectly. That is what. But we don't do that. We want to do which has been prohibited for us. You say don't go into this land, because this is one way. You say, who will go all the way, and you get into the one way. And if you are challened, because you say, why these fellows have made it one way and all, you just scold the municipal corporation or other places and all. Because we find a shortcut. And always the human mind is like that. Whatever is prohibited, if you don't say anything, people will not go. If you say don't go by this way, certainly they will go. Because there is an incentive, for the mind to disobey. Because in India, the indiscipline is the USP of Indians. If you go and put them element, that's why we find the foreign, we don't go and stay there for years. For 2 months, we come back. Mera Bharat Mahan, here I can do whatever I want. There I can't do. So indiscipline is our USP. It says, you have everything and all, but at least as your body and mind and intellect is concerned, be disciplined because your own benefit, not for other things. See, even, you have to do certain obligations, certain duties, you do it. Or if you don't do that, you try to find what is the best you can give it. If not, you can write something, you write it. Or if you are capable of drawing a portrait, if you can teach children, call few children, try to teach them. The children may not be interested in if you go on telling your story, look, when I was 5 years, it is that my father said, they are not interested. You have to go to their level and understand them, try to teach them, you teach them. Why not? Because there are so many children, they don't get so many things, which is known to a lot of people. There are not people who don't have any time. See, likewise, but we will be trying to send the WhatsApp. Because WhatsApp is more interesting than doing of any of the things. If there is one condition which comes, the entire WhatsApp will close down. The condition is you should not forward any message. You will have to give your original message. Everyone will stop it. Because half the time, whatever it comes, you half read it or full. Sometimes you read it, sometimes you don't read it. But you are interested in forwarding it to so many other people. And even the prescriptions are going by WhatsApp. Someone says, if you have this problem, you do it. Everyone is a doctor, everyone is a patient, and everyone is an advisor in WhatsApp. Everyone is getting advice. This is what the WhatsApp. If someone says, it's only the original message, if you create it will go, then all these people will take out the WhatsApp. But now it is not that. It gives you a lot of wanted, unwanted, and you find some sort of a happiness in seeing the things which you are not interested also. Something you think, others will also see it, you forward it. And if a person is going to see his WhatsApp only, he will not have enough time to see the WhatsApp itself. Because our time is become so precious. So likewise, all this dissipation has taken place. The modern way of living has taken away all our time. We are not able to give the wonderful time to ourselves. When you do the meditation, when you are giving the time to yourself. When you are going and doing, some duty, even to your energy room or puja room, whatever call it in your house, go and spend 10 minutes in that, you are giving time to yourself. And you can have a conversation with God, but you are not interested. Even if God is interested, you are not interested. So you just say, look, every day I am coming, because today I have not brought any fruits. Okay, tomorrow I will give it to you. God is not going to say, no problem, and you come tomorrow and all. He just wants your focus, attention, even 5 seconds. That's what he wants. Pushpam, palam, patram, toyam. Because you are not able to give anything. You give some flowers. If not, you give some leaves. If not, patram. Because even if you are not giving some 2 drops of water, that you give it, that is more than enough for him. He is not going to take it. Because he has given you the knowledge, he has given you everything, he is with you and all. Why don't you have, because even if you have a problem, you couldn't share with anyone at all. Even with your wife will say, I know already, because you will get into a problem like this. You are never following what I am telling. That's what your wife will say. And your children will say, I think, how many times we have to tell you, because don't go out, you will have this problem, you go out and get into this. Because everyone will say, trying to give their advice to you. Finally, one and the only person who can listen to you is that energy room or puja room in your mind. When you do the meditation, you talk to him. He will give you the right advice. He is your guide. When no one is there and they've all gone out, they've all gone out for a tour and all, you are alone in the house, he will look after you and all. I narrated one incident, likewise, Madhvacharya, when he was 3 years old, 2.5, 3 years old, his parents had taken him to a wedding house. It is in the coastal area. Coastal area, it's not very inhabited and all, rarely habited, because one village to another village, you will have to walk 4 to 5 kilometers. And in between, because there will be, the one-way traffic, you will have to just to follow the footsteps, it's a beaten track. You will have to follow that only. And all. Suddenly, one day they were near the seashore. Night, they were all busy with the marriage preparation. The Madhvacharya, the child slipped out. No one noticed. Next morning when they saw, where is the child? They didn't know. His mother was wondering what happened. He's only not even 3. I think there is a seashore nearby. Immediately the mind goes, he might have gone to the seashore and the sea must have. All unwanted thing comes to the mind first. Because that is the klesha, what we call. For a meditative mind, it will not come. They will find, children, it must have seen a bird or it might have seen a dog and might have gone out. Let us see what it is. They couldn't do. And finally, because their parents and all the other members, they walked. After about 5 kilometers, there was a temple. They went there, that temple was about to be closed. They went there. It's a Shankara Narayana temple. And they went and asked him, that Pujari, and he said, because the one child, did you see a child, we missing right from yesterday. Yeah, a child came and he came to the temple. He went around, because he did the pradakshina of the entire Shivalinga. He just left it. And I asked him, why you come alone? Because why should I'm not alone. Who said I'm alone? I have got, my master with me. I have come with him. He is there always with me, he said, and he went from here to somewhere, I don't know, he went to the northern side. So they went further, and then there was another temple. He was there, in the temple because he was chatting with someone and all. There also, he said the boy is telling, he has got someone, he has come with him, he is not bothered. I asked him, where is your parents? He says, why? Because I have got someone already, because that's what he said. In the sense, that is because Chetna, because several, the births, he has got that jnana, he has to become an acharya in this birth. So at the age of 3, he was going alone and he said, I have got someone with me. But we, after having entire paraphernalia, entire thing and all, even, if you are not able, if you are put in a train station, if the train doesn't come, you are alone, you got jittery. You started messaging, calling everyone and all. Why do you get that? Because you always, someone is there, he is going to help you with a cool, calm mind, everything will happen. Because as a child, it has happened in the sense, because that's been written in his story that this is how, there are few occasions he has done like that. So once you have that belief, that is the surrender. Once you know someone is with you, even the entire world is not with you, there is someone with you. This is what entire the Ramanujacharya, he has also, he had an experience similar to that. Even when he was propounding his philosophy, it's not that everyone has agreed. Because there are so many, because the Vaishnavism, because before him it was there, but he is the one brought it to the fore with the purpose and the poise, he brought it to the highest level and all. But he had a lot of, it was not a life of roses. In fact, 25th of this month, was supposed to be his Jayanti. He was born, because 25th, because it is today we are on 28th. The 25th was the Ramanuja Jayanti, Vaibhavam, he is 1002 years old now, as per the sort of, the people, who estimated his time of birth and all. He had a lot of problem, and when he was in Srirangam, when he was there, lot of even the king, wanted to sort of take out his eyes because he was shy-white. He didn't want the Vaishnavism to be coming the way, of the people and all. Then he had to leave that place. He had to go to a place called Melkote in Karnataka, Tirunarayanapuram, what they call it. He went there. And he didn't have anyone. He has got one, because he has got a solid, the disciples. When Kuratalvan was there, he was the one who was with him. He sacrificed everything, his family also to be with him. He is the one, he helped him in bringing out his bhashyas, on the entire Brahma Sutram when he wrote Sri Bhashya. The Kuratalvan, who was with him always to help him and all. When the king, who was wanted to take away the eyes of Ramanuja because he is a Vaishnavite, whereas he was professing the Shaivism, he had to run away and all. Finally, the Kuratalvan, who kept all these scriptures and all, and he also went to a place called Alagar Koil near Madurai. And he was hiding there and all. Finally, when he couldn't find, they had to find out, the Ramanuja to take out his eyes. He offered himself. I am Ramanuja. He impersonated Ramanuja and offered himself. That is the Guru Bhakti, because he went to that extent. After all, he knows he is a great philosopher and his entire thing will be lost. So let me give up, because that's what had happened to him. So likewise, the Ramanuja, he also had all the struggles, because he wanted to bring the social equanimity. He said, whoever is chanting the name of Narayana, you are a person who is eligible to be, having the bhakti and get the liberation and salvation. He went to a place called Tripushtiyur. From the top of the temple, because he just announced, he brought the social revolution at that point of time. Naturally, when you are bringing a revolution, the people will be opposing. The conservatives will be there. So many other kind of people will be there. He had to undergo all those things. When his Jayanti is being celebrated, it is a struggle which has to be remembered. He has stood up to everything and all. Finally, he had a great belief, because someone is with him. That is how he went through all the things, and his disciples went through the entire thing and all. Then finally it became such a sort of, the great reformer. A lot of people, they came into, who were not, into the entire philosophical stream. They also came into, because it's not that, Vaishnavism or Saivism and all. People who are only leading the life of indulgence, they all came out to some spiritual path. Some masters come in once in a while, like Socrates in Greece. He did it. But he has not written any of these things, because he has said everything, he has spoken everything that is being told to us by Plato. If Plato has not written the Republic, we would not have known what Socrates had said. Socrates, whatever, he is a person, was that he only never wanted even to write anything, or he only told, and he fought the entire society, he brought the reforms, he sacrificed his life. Without Plato, we could not have understood Socrates. Like without Kuratalman, we could not have known the struggle of Ramanujacharya. It is like that, because the people were there at that point of time. In fact, incidentally, this week, two great masters, even though there is a dispute of his age, Shankaracharya's Jayanti was also celebrated on 26th. 25th was Ramanuja Vaibhavam, 26th was, because Shankaracharya's, even the birth is always being disputed, whether the 7th or 8th century BC, or he was much earlier than that one. But now, of course, they are somewhere, agreed, it is somewhere in the 7th century. The 26th was also the great Acharya. He also had that struggle. So no one accepted his philosophy and all, because he also went through, he also wanted to bring the people to the mainstream, because for Shankaracharya's struggle is much higher, in the sense people were embracing, all other streams like Jainism, Buddhism and all. And Jainism, Buddhism, in the sense, not that bad. They are also great philosophy, but they were never believed in Vedas. Because Veda is Aupurusheya. Without Veda, you will not be able to understand the Sanatana Dharma. Entire Veda, and from there, Upanishads are part of the Vedas. The Veda, Upanishad, and Brahma Sutram is a sort of a aphorisms to understand the Veda. You will have to, it is like a constitution to understand the Veda. That is why Brahma Sutram and the Upanishad, as well as Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of all Upanishad, all the three are more important for any Acharya to be an Acharya. If they have written the Bhashyas or commentary or explanation on that, then only they are recognized as the Acharya. The Veda is primordial, and Om, the Pranava is the primordial. From where the Purusha Suktam has come, from there, the Gayatri has come, Gayatri Purusha Suktam has come, then Vedas have come. And Vedas contain the Upanishad. Veda Anta, the end part is considered to be, the Sara part is considered to be, where the philosophical portion is considered to be Vedanta, that is Upanishad. Upanishads are nothing but Vedanta, end of the Vedas. Veda has got four components. One is Brahmanas. Brahmanas are the one, which tells the hymns of, all the natural, that is, every god is supposed to be part of the nature, and always to get the best of the nature for the benefit of the people. Because whenever the Yaga Yajna was done in those days, it is only the kings who had the resources, they were doing it. When they were doing it for the welfare of the people, not for themselves. If the people are good, if the people are prosperous, the king is also prosperous. If the people are deprived, the king is also deprived. That is the concept at that point of time. It is a sort of a evolutionary democracy, right from bottom up, not the top to bottom. That is how, because the entire culture flourished. That Vedas, even nowadays, because the studies are made, it is not only the philosophical component of the entire religious or philosophical component, it's the cultural component. A lot of cultural things which has come, which was there in those days, in the Mohenjo-daro, at that point of time, whatever is there, they're all being coming into that. It could be reflected, by the verses that is there and all. In Brahmanas, then it came, because the Aranyaka is the one, which is come. One is first is Samhitas. Samhitas are hymns only in praise of whatever the power that is there. First portion is Samhita. The Samhita we are always, because the Suktams and what we talk about and all, they are all come sometimes in Brahmanas, sometimes in Aranyakas. But only one Suktam is coming in the Samhita, that is called Isavasya Upanishadam. We have covered in the very first Upanishadam we have covered in our journey is the Isavasya Upanishadam. Is a Samhita component of the Yajurveda. That is why it is called Mantropanishad. All other Suktams come as a part of the procedural, because the evolution of the philosophy. The Brahmanas are the procedural, the entire procedure that is described for doing the Yaga, Yajna, and even, because wherever they are doing, even in the household, how you will have to worship, that's also being defined in the Brahmanas. Aranyakas is the one, which once you attain a certain age, you give up, your intelligence in life. You go to the forest, you don't take any resources with you. Husband and wife, if they are alive, they go. If husband is alive, he only goes. Even the wife is alive, they only go. The Rishinis were there, Rishikas were there. It's not only the males who are Rishika, because there are Ambarani, one lady was there. She was a great Rishika. Maitreyi was there. She was all the great Rishika. They were all there. So when the Rishika, they go to the forest, they live with whatever is available till such time the body can take, whatever they leave the body. So that is the time, they have written. Now, all these things are being Shruti based. Finally, they have all been given by all our masters. It has come to us. Now we have got in the form of books as well as, because it was in the sort of manuscripts. Now it has come in the form of books. But otherwise it is Shruti. Shruti only, you will not be able to contaminate the words. You will not be able to contaminate the diction. You will not be able to contaminate the intonation. Everything will have to come together. When you are doing a yaga, yajna and all, your pronunciation will have to be perfect. That is why that's why karma kanda and all. Why people are always being inducted into that. You need total devotion. If you do something wrong, then because the effect will be very different. The effect will be for the entire humanity. That is why they do the yaga, yajna, they collectively do, because there is a procedure is there, you will have to follow. But as a normal householders, normal people living in, we will not be able to do that. That's why, because it has been given, for our own benefit, the Upanishad, whatever it tells, try to change your attitude, try to do your thinking, focus on your whatever you are doing, be mindful, so that the world will be able to offer whatever you are destined to get in this birth. Birth after birth, you will be having a journey which is more, that is what Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhanudhara, you will have to enjoy that. It is not that, that's why, you don't have to mourn, when the body goes and all, that's what it says, but in spite of it, because with the human intelligence, human mind, when we are at a level, and not only that, sometimes, you do it for yourself, sometimes you do it for others also. Because the great truth, that's being always enunciated, because it will have to be taken, will be absorbed in our own way. Your way of absorption of the truth may be different from my own way of absorption. Maybe you may be much enlightened, because your way of thinking, because you have given up all your luggages, because the raga, dvesha and all become, you might have given up. You might have come. But then once we develop, each one of us developed our own glory, the society becomes a glorified one. You will not find, so many sort of, the turbulence in the society. It will be a society which is worth living for. And the societal problems emanate from individual. From individual, it goes to a nation. From it is the cosmic, even the cosmic, whatever it is happening, it is also because of the turbulence here. Even the viruses which has come and all, it is the human turbulence. It's the human greed. You want to do something, you want to be one up against someone else. All of a divine law of equality is there and all. Who can be one or who can be one up or one down? All of us are in the same plane. Once you understood the universal, the consciousness, once you are able to access that, you become a part of it. It's a great fountain. We are part of it. We are just a small droplet. When the fountain gets the breeze and it gives the cool breeze to everyone and all, we also will have to give because of the fragrance of our soul. The fragrance of the soul can be attained only because by submitting yourself, surrender yourself and get it. This is 1.2.2 we have seen. And finally, the last mantra one, it's the last line of this one is Dhatu Prasadam Mahiman Mahima Mahatmanaha. Since Dhatu Prasadam, it's all divine grace. How you are able to elevate and all. That's what in the mantra says. Divine grace is, the grace comes based on your effort. See, you will have to study at least the subject to the extent you are able to get to 38 or 39 so that a grace mark can be given and taken out. You will have to take your effort for your own benefit. That is what it says. And another thing, another intonation is also try to calm your mind, constant practice. Either you do meditation. Meditation to start with, you may be doing 1 hour in the morning or 1 hour in the evening, maybe half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening. But by practice, what will happen, your attitude and thinking will go, the entire day becomes a meditation. Because when you are not agitated by any of the thoughts, when you are looking for, because what is the best I can do about, that is a meditation. You can be 24/7, you can be meditative. That's what one Acharya, I will just close this with one experience of one Acharya. He went there, one Swamiji, he went to UK, Anubhavananda. He is very famous in Bombay and other places. He went to UK, he was staying in the house of a landlady. She is British and she has taken interest in our Sanatana Dharma. And she was staying in this house. When he was staying in the house, morning, because when she went to find out, whether he is up, whether she can give him a cup of tea or something like that. He was just he was in closed meditation. He was just closing his eyes and doing it. So after some time she went again, he was that, and also after half an hour he himself came back and he came out and asked that lady, what is that, today you have not given me tea, chai nahi hai kya? Because he said, why don't you give me tea, because we Indians are very fond of tea in the morning, and you also know that and all. And then, he asked, then, no, I am ready with the breakfast. I came twice to your room, you are just closing your eyes. And, no, I was not doing the meditation. If I have to do the meditation, I will be doing certain point of time in a certain assigned time in the day only. But I am always in the meditation. I was in the lap of Krishna. So I am trying to be in the lap of Krishna all through, because that is how, because he said the meditation wants to train your mind, train your attitude and thinking, 24/7 you will be meditating. It's not that you will have to take, a particular time, get the music put and do that. That is to start with. So that you assign your time for yourself. Once you assign the time for yourself, then you will not be bothered about others' opinion about you. Others' opinion about you, when they are telling their own opinion about themselves, which you don't understand. And you take it to heart. She told me like that. How can she tell you? Because she is talking about herself and not about you. Why do you bother? You are different. So you will have to wash off, brush it aside. It is just like the dust to dust, and you throw it out. Once you have that, you will be meditative all through. The purpose of the Upanishad is to be meditative all 24/7, not 1 hour in the morning, not 1 hour. You may be going to so many gurus, and so many gurus are needed, Chinmayananda needed. If so many people come, at least there is a way to give time to yourself and elevate yourself to start with. Once you do that, you get into that, because meditation becomes part of your being. You don't have to go, because till such time in meditation you are all calm personified. Once you come out of the meditation, why it is not happening, then you are doing shouting and doing all those things and crying and all. That is that you are still in the stage of evolution. Once you come out, you will always be sort of even-minded all through the time. During the meditation, after the meditation, the life itself is a meditation. This is what Upanishad is taking us. With this, I will try to close. But I would have covered, one more mantra. Anyway, I think next week I will cover 2 mantras. And today we will be having a small meditation on Hiranyagarbha Sutram. I will also just tell about Hiranyagarbha, what it is, once we start the meditation. Thank you. I will complete the session for the day. Sahana vavatu, sahanau punaktu, sahaviryam karavavahaihi, tejasvina vadidamastuma vishvidavahaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.